I've been playing Village for a bit now. For some reason that doesn't work unless I'm pressing the wrong button there. But in here, there's actual concept art of a variety of different things. The cop from Resident Evil Biohazard. Jack, dude was scary. Yep. The molded. Still had teeth. Spoiler, but in RE7, they're not like that, brother. They are not like that at all. Well, similar. Similar. But no, here's the real deal. What's happening now? Okay. So, the Baker incident report. Oh my god. The report depicts my investigation to the events after the incident at the Baker's residence. The Baker incident, July 2017. A number of people lost their lives at the residence in the middle of the American countryside. It was a truly horrifying tragedy. I still don't know the exact number of victims. Two survivors, husband and wife, Ethan and Mia Winters, were able to shed some light on the events, which would have shook the world. But there was a cover-up, and the the Winterses vanished. There is someone or something powerful acting behind the scenes. I just know it. I decided to investigate, to follow the breadcrumbs of what happened after. How can I be so sure? Because I'm someone who was there. First of all, how was the incident reported upon its discovery by the world? Let's take a look at some newspaper clippings from that time to see how the news was manipulated. Discovery of the incident. Local newspaper. The Dulvey Daily, July 22nd, 2017. Family of four found dead in Dulvey. Dulvey County Sheriff's Office have reported that the Baker family were found dead in their home in North Dulvey on the 21st July. The surrounding details are currently unknown, apart from the deaths of Jack Baker, his wife Margaret, their sons Lucas and daughter Zoe. Deputy Sheriff Dave Anderson has also been missing since the 19th, according to Deputy Sheriff Riley Whiteford, who visited the Bakers' residence around the time of his disappearance. Social media post, July 22nd, 2017. That thing with the dead family, wasn't that where the giant black monster was? You think they were eaten by that thing? No way. It's not some cheesy horror movie. Old man Jack did say some crazy stuff. I remember him getting into a lot of fights. He probably killed the whole family, then offed himself. Transcript of a complaint to the county sheriff's office. I don't believe it. It's been 2 days already, but you haven't reported anything else. Was it a murder? An accident? Suicide? And what's with the National Guard sealing the place off? What are y'all holding? What are y'all hiding? Very little was reported shortly after the Baker incident was discovered, leading to rapid spread of rumors and speculation. The Bakers were completely isolated from the rest of the community, and sealing off the entire area around their home set things in motion. I recall there was a lot of public pressure on the press for information. I admit that at the time I was being held in quarantine by a certain organization and couldn't see any of the news for myself. They finally allowed me to watch TV a few days after I was flabbergasted by the stark difference between the reports and reality. 2. The cover-up. Local newspaper, the Dulvey Daily, July 30th, 2017. Sheriff's Office say Baker family killed by natural gas. In a follow-up on the deaths of the Baker family on July 21st, the Dulvey County Sheriff's Office stated it is highly likely that their deaths were caused by hydrogen sulfide leak. The local area is surrounded by wetlands. which combined with a concentration of pollution could have led to the buildup of toxic gas that claimed the lives of the Baker family. The leak has been blocked. However, the authorities have sealed off the area in order to prevent any further accidents. The victims included were deceased Jack Baker, Margaret Baker, Lucas Baker, Zoe Baker, Dave Anderson, Clancy Javis, Andre Strickland, Peter Walken, injured, Ethan Winters, Mia Winters. Social media post, July 30th, 2017. Toxic hydrogen sulfide gas? They're kidding, right? I heard there were soldiers, tanks, helicopters, the whole shebang when it happened. The government's up to something for sure. And here come the conspiracy theorists, a bunch of nut jobs like you came out of the woodwork during the Raccoon City incident too. But there was that black monster and that satellite photo of the shipwreck. You have to admit, something's fishy. Magazine, Inspector. An interview with Sally Baldwin, professor of geological sciences at Minden University. Interviewer. So you don't agree with the report that the sheriff's office that it was a natural gas leak? Baldwin. We can't rule it out completely, but it's very unusual, all things considered. Hydrogen sulfide builds up in areas where there is a lot of volcanic activity. The town of Dulvey, however, has no volcanic activity anywhere in the area. My own geological survey in 1998 revealed absolutely no hydrogen sulfide in the area. A tragic natural gas leak. That was the official stance on the Baker incident. But this is a complete fabrication. Nothing about the murders in that house. Nothing about the terrifying monsters that stalked the halls and lived within its walls. It's evident that someone was keeping the truth hidden. The thing that surprised me the most was the fact that my name was on the list of victims. The organization still had me in quarantine. I was terrified the whole thing would come to an end with me actually being among the deceased. Thankfully, it was a needless fear. The organization gave me a new identity and let me go. I guess they figured I was harmless and didn't know anything else. I was allowed to live as a new person, apparently for my own safety. I tried to contact the other two survivors, Ethan and Mia. They saved my life, and after all, I wanted at least thank them. But they'd completely disappeared. I know the organization knows where they are, so I decided to investigate the BSAA. BSAA, Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, a counter-bioterrorism organization sanctioned by the United Nations. It was formed to combat the rise in bioterrorism after the collapse of Umbrella Pharmaceuticals. They have combated terrorism across the world, including China and Europe, and are highly regarded as bioterrorist police. The BSAA finally interviewed in the Baker incident and were the ones that saved Ethan, Mia, and I. I think it's Zoe. Thanks to my detainment in their facility, I have a pretty good idea of who their members are. I was very persuasive when it came to asking them about the organization and top secret documents. The topic I was most interested in was, of course, the Baker incident. I wanted to know the truth the BSAA was hiding. 3. The hidden truth. Magazine Inspector. Secret meeting between the sheriff and international organization. One of our reports has unearthed evidence that a secret meeting happened between Dulvey's sheriff Coleridge and an international organization known as the Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance, BSAA. Many have voiced their concerns about the legitimacy of the sheriff's office statement that the incident at the Baker estate was caused by a toxic gas leak. Inspector suspects there might be more to the story, and the sheriff's office and BSAA are covering something up. We reached out to the sheriff's office, but they refused to give a statement. North America Bioterrorism Security Assessment Alliance. BSAA Investigations Department. Final report on the Baker incident. The following details the investigation into the biological disaster in Dulvey, Louisiana, also known as the Baker incident. One donut later. The BSAA Investigations Department final report on the Baker incident. The following details the investigation into the biological disaster in Dulvey, Louisiana, also known as the Baker incident. This document is for employees with Class B clearance and above. We have concluded that the Baker incident was caused by accidental contamination from the prototype weapon known as Evelyn. The residents of the Baker household were contaminated by a mold-like pathogen, mutamycete. Evelyn was capable of rapidly producing this mold, and it enabled her to control those infected both mentally and physically. The Baker family were not the only victims. Evelyn manipulated the Bakers into kidnapping dozens of people. These victims were infected and mutated into monstrous creatures called molded. Evelyn was originally created in a Munich research facility by the international crime syndicate, The Connections. BSAA dispatched a team to destroy Evelyn. The mission, however, was not successful, and Evelyn escaped. Evelyn was then transferred to America by the Connections via ship along her caretaker, Mia Winters. However, Evelyn managed to escape during transport. She murdered most of the ship's crew and destroyed the ship. We believe she then abandoned the vessel that had washed up in the bayou near the Baker residence. That felt like something. We believe she then abandoned the vessel that had washed up in the bayou near the Baker residence. I don't know why that felt weird. The aforementioned operation to eliminate Evelyn was BSAA's failing. We cannot deny that, as it resulted in Evelyn infecting innocent civilians. BSAA will have to take responsibility should these events ever come out. As such, we advise that a cover story is fed to the media, and BSAA's involvement is kept quiet. What? E-Series Mutamycete Analysis Report. Biological analysis report on the E-Series mutamycete, henceforth referred to as mutamycete, recovered from the Baker residence. The mutamycete has similar characteristics to Cladosporium black mold and has incredibly high reproductive properties. Cladosporium? Clado? It acts like a parasite, infecting the cells and rewriting the DNA of its host. Furthermore, when it combines with other bacteria, it creates its own muscle tissue, brain, and nervous system. Damn. As such, an organism infected with the mutamycete transforms into a type of undead monster. What the heck? Bioweapon Report File. A human biological weapon constructed through the implantation of mutamycete into a human embryo has the ability to infect with a fungal network and control hosts through brain wave signals. Evelyn was driven by a natural instinct to create a family, and the infected victims she controlled were her surrogate family. However, due to an innate defect in her chromosomes, Evelyn's cells reproduced at an accelerated rate, causing her to age rapidly, then die. Actually, in RE7, you had to inject her because she was breaking off, brother. The Connections report. The Connections is a crime syndicate with no base of operations. Their organizational structure is unknown. However, we are aware of their actions on a global level. In recent years, they have been particularly active in Eastern Europe. Most of their activities appear to revolve around the creation and selling of bioweapons. Evelyn was one of their products. Reliable sources have confirmed that the criminal organization was founded by Brandon Bailey. Bailey is a shrewd man and was once the right-hand man of Oswell E. Spencer, CEO and president of the Umbrella Corporation. His current status and location unknown. Bailey and Spencer became estranged due to differing visions, and Bailey used the connections he made working as the director of the Umbrella Africa Research Center to branch off and found the crime syndicate. The organization's main goal appeared to simply be commercial gain. Further investigations are in progress. End of report. According to BSAA's top secret documents, the Baker incident, as I know it, was just another statistical blip to be recorded. The fateful night when the tanker washed up in the bayou, Jack took that little girl from the shipwreck into our home. Then she turned everyone crazy, made us into monsters. BSAA knew this when they manipulated the media and covered the whole thing up. An easy thing to do for an organization with the direct backing from the United Nations. They couldn't let anyone know it was them who let Evelyn, the cause of all this, escape. I continued to investigate and finally caught wind of Ethan and Mia's location. 4. Where the Winterses are. BSAA Investigation Department. Transcript of the interview with Ethan Winters. Audio begins. Shall we begin then? Please state your name and occupation. Ethan. Ethan Winters. I am a systems engineer. How many times do we have to do this? When are you going to let us go? Our interviews until now have been necessary to conclude if you had any ulterior motives. Now, we understand that you were just an innocent victim in this whole incident. So you're gonna let us go? Yes. But we have one condition. What's that? We would like you and your wife to remain under our supervision. In exchange, we will provide you with a new home, a new country. What are you saying? You want us to take on new identities? Wait, a new country? You want us to move to another country? To a lovely country in Eastern Europe. To be precise, Europe. You gotta be kidding me. You've gotta be kidding me. Why the hell would we? You are both witnesses to what happened. There is a certain criminal organization who is looking for you. We are doing this for your protection. Think of it more like witness protection. But all the way in Europe, without any say? You can forget everything you experienced here, start a new life. It's better for both of you that way. There's no way we can forget everything that happened. I want to talk to Mia about this. Let me talk to Mia. Audio ends. BSAA Investigations Department transcript of interview with Mia Winters. According to our examinations, you are mostly free of the mold now, Mia. Did you tell him about my past? No. As a sign of appreciation of your cooperation, BSAA has not divulged your involvement with the connections. I just want to return to a normal life. Oh, excuse me. No. I just want to return to a normal life with Ethan. To forget everything. Ethan and Mia are in Europe. I was ecstatic that I finally had a clue into their whereabouts. However, that was where my investigation hit a brick wall. BSAA security is tight, and even with some acquaintances, helping me out. No one knew the Winters' exact location, which makes sense when you consider an international crime syndicate is after them. 2 years passed and no progress. I ended up working as a rookie reporter for a small newspaper in New Orleans. The Baker incident has all but vanished from people's minds. Then one day, a letter arrived at my tiny apartment. It was from none other than Mia Winters herself. Mia's letter. Hey, how are you doing? It's been a while, hasn't it? BSAA won't let us send any emails or letters, but I gave this directly to an employee to give to you, so it should be safe. Our location is still hidden. I've always wanted to tell you how thankful I am. Ethan and I would have died in that house if it hadn't been for you. It must have been hard to fight all alone for so long, so thank you. This is Zoe, y'all. Zoe, y'all. I can't tell you where we are, but we're safe and happy. I feel like we finally settled down into our new life. The house BSAA gave us is huge. I don't know what to do with it all. Oh, that reminds me. There's a reason I wanted to write you. Ethan and I had a baby. I included a picture of her with this letter. I warn you, she is so cute. Oh, and her just We named her Rosemary. Isn't it such a wonderful name? I hope you can come and see her someday. Ethan wants to see you too. I've learned all kinds of local dishes. I'm sure you'll like them. No need to reply. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Take care of yourself, okay? Sincerely, Mia Winters. A letter from Mia and Ethan out of nowhere. And they have a daughter. I had almost given up finding them. I couldn't hold back the tears. I'm glad the 3 of them are happy in their new life. Just as I went to close the mailbox, I spotted another envelope. It was embossed with the BSAA logo. The sender unknown. It contained the following. BSAA HQ. Warning letter to Chris Redfield. Chris, we are growing concerned with your recent activity. According to recent reports, you have taken personal control of the elite unit, the Hound Wolf Squad, without permission. And you've accessed a number of top secret documents, also without permission. What the hell are you doing? What are you and your squad doing in Eastern Europe? Who the fuck is this Miranda that keeps popping up in your correspondences? What's with the investigation into the Winters family? You've been very critical of the BSAA since the Baker incident. You might be one of the founding original 11, but I cannot let you continue to run around unchecked. So I'll repeat myself. What the hell are you doing? BSAA HQ Investigations. There was one thing scribbled on the back of this. It's not over. This is everything I have on the Baker incident. It's purely for my own reference. I don't intend to send it out to the general public. I will continue my investigation. Many have tried to get in my way, slow me down, but I'm doing this for my family. I won't give up. I know that someday I'll be able to give Ethan and Mia my thanks directly. At least, I pray I can. My name is Zoe Baker, a survivor of this tragedy. All right. That was the Baker incident report. That was awesome. Woo! RE7, boy.